Howdy, Twitch. So, just trying to get things a little organized before I begin in earnest. So, a little bit about the goals for today's stream. I've got, let's see here. I've got a GitHub project that kind of acts like a little incubator. So it's a Rust crate that has a number of different little game development related systems in it. One of which was sprite management. And the sprite management part seems to have kind of, I don't want to say matured, but it's gotten to the point where it's stable enough that I can actually use it for projects. So what I plan to do today is to try to rip it out from Omen Labs and make it its own crate, which I will try to publish on the Rustlang crates registry. So that's the general gist of what I'm aiming to do today. I haven't done anything here as far as crates go other than consuming them, right? So I have a lot of dependencies on stuff that's in here, but I've never published anything. So, I guess to start, that's not what I need. I don't think PowerShell does tabs, so I'm going to run another one. Try to make it big enough so y'all can see. And yeah, so one of the hardest problems in computer science is naming things, right? So I need a completely separate project here that I'm gonna kind of move everything into. And in order to set that project up, I'm going to use Cargo. I should say that, so for right now, I'm working on Windows. And that's for a couple of reasons, but I prefer to do my game development on Windows because of asset creation stuff. So things like my digital audio workstation for doing music is much easier to use on Windows than it is on Linux. But the code work that I do, I tend to split up between Windows and Linux. Anyway, for right now, I'm working on Windows, and in order to get my Rust environment set up, I used RustUp. So if you want to follow along, you can go to rustup.rs and download this little RustUp init program, which will help you install the toolchain and all the related tools. So Cargo is the kind of package management side of the toolchain. So I'm going to start a new library, and I'm going to call this Omen Sprites. I kind of debated naming this for the sprite authoring, the Spritesheet authoring app that I've been using, which I don't know how to pronounce, but it's like AS Sprite. Let's see. ASE. Yeah. So this is what I was using for my content creation, as it were. And So this app is like a little paint program with some layer support, and it's got all the basics that you would need for doing animation, like onion skinning and all that kind of stuff. And so the exporter for this program is able to produce a JSON file. And so the sprite clip management library that I built kind of revolves around parsing the files that this thing can produce. But eventually I would hope that I would be able to support, I don't know, multiple formats or multiple programs for producing sprite sheet data. So at least for right now, I'm gonna do the narcissistic thing and name it for myself. And I guess, great. So I guess LS works in PowerShell too, right? So does that put it does. It gives me a Git repo along with the rest of the source code. So so I can say cargo init. Oops. No, wait. I need to git add -a. Yeah. And the other thing I need is to create a repo for it. So I'm going to call it Omen Sprites RS. Yeah, I guess that's good. And I'm just going to push up the work so far, which is just the skeleton, to the master branch. Yeah. All right. Okay, so there should be some source up here now. And this is just an empty test, I guess. So if I do cargo test, we've got a test that runs. So that's all good. Let's get these windows managed a little bit. Shit. Yeah, that might work. Okay, so for Omen Labs, I should have more tests of my own. So we'll see if this runs. One of the things I love about Rust is that by default they test the code in your comments if you have like little examples or code blocks in the markdown. So that's kind of where, so these are the regular tests from my test suite, and then these are tests that were pulled out of the documentation, I think. Yeah. So we've got some tests, and this will help me verify that the extraction was good. So let's see. You know, I'm still not really happy with this name, but we'll roll with it. What the fuck did I... God damn it, Windows. Everything just disappeared on me. That's what I get for shaking Windows around, I guess. Not what I meant. Okay, so over in my IDE, I'm gonna open up my other project, and this is gonna be probably the boring part where I move code from one section to the other. Did that do anything? No, I guess it didn't. Okay, so we got two IDEs going on. Oh yeah, that's right, and I have benchmarks as well. So let's cargo plus nightly bench. When I do the plus nightly, that's switching to the nightly toolchain. So it's got unstable features which are required for certain things, like running benchmark tests. Apparently, that's not something you can do on the stable version of Rust right now. So yeah, there are a few things that I use the nightly toolchain for. One of them is benchmarking. Another is using Rust format, which is source code style formatter. What do I have? Compiler unexpectedly panicked. Okay. Yeah, maybe I haven't run the benchmarks on Windows. Shrug, I guess, is what I'm going to say about that. But the benchmarks are doing basically the same kind of operations that are in the unit tests. So I don't expect there to be breakage for real use. But I'll look into that later on. Still, for right now, I'm going to start by, I mean, no, I don't want that at all. So I guess I'm doing some house cleaning, housekeeping, something like that. So I don't want IDEA, I don't want rs.back, bk.bk, which is the backup files. Oh, it's already in there. Look here. So these are backups that Rust format produces. Anytime you ask it to reformat a source file, it'll take whatever the original state of the file was and write it out to a backup file. Cargo lock, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So, okay. So these are the main sources that I'm concerned about. And the asset manager or asset loader is not really It's not really significant, but there may be an implicit dependency that I haven't considered. Like maybe for my tests or example programs, I might be using my image loader from labs. So I'm going to have to kind of be aware of that stuff. And so moving code from the incubator project to its own crate is going to be a good way for me to gain some awareness about those implicit dependencies. But so I guess first of all, I will look at the dependencies. I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna need all the Serde stuff for sure. I'm gonna bring Clippy. I'm not sure what I'm using time for, so I'll leave it out for now. And then the GGEZ stuff. This is a 2D game framework that I was using. This is really the target for all the work that I'm doing. I'm going to leave that out for now. If I need it for example programs, I think I can add that as like a dev dependency instead of a regular dependency. What I don't want is for people to need to use this framework in order to leverage my Sprite library. So yeah. So as far as Clippy goes, there's some stuff I'm gonna kind of copy and paste from the original project here. This test is not anything I need. So Clippy is like it's like a linter, I guess. And so you can build your project with Clippy enabled to get some extra feedback about potential pitfalls that you may have that you may be stepping into. So this is actually a little type alias that I think is kind of bad, but we're gonna bring the warts in with us. Right. So I gotta save my my cargo.toml so that it can pull in the dependencies that I've asked for. And there's also something going on here. Oh, here we go. Okay. I feel like that feedback is not correct. Yeah, there we go. So the latest Rust plugin for IntelliJ just got some new features where they can use this cargo check to basically get compiler feedback. So not like linting stuff, but I guess with a full build, it'll stop compiling after it runs into a certain number of issues. And so I think the difference between cargo build and cargo check is that cargo check will do like an exhaustive search so that it can tell you about all the problems, not just the first couple. And so the latest version of the Rust plugin for IntelliJ will allow you to use cargo check as you type, and so it'll kind of keep asking, are there new problems in the editor, are there new problems, and that's how it'll do the red squiggly lines and all that. So I guess I'm also going to bring over the benches real quick while I'm at it. Yes. And so this stuff may break as I pull it in, because paths may be different, that kind of thing. And so this is the application specific code that I'm still kind of dubious about. Like, I'm not sure how specific to the application I've kind of structured all of this. So we'll see. Yeah, so I've got all of these different data structures that relate to the shape of, let me see if I have an example in resources maybe. Yeah, so this is the JSON output from Esprite. And so a lot of the code that I have in this module relates to how to extract data from these kinds of payloads, and that's all very specific to the program itself. And I hope that at some point, you know, I'll be able to flesh this library out so that it can support a number of different inputs. But the overall design of it may be way too specific to this kind of data. Like I have all this code about clips, and they relate to this concept of frame tags, where I wonder if I can bring it up. Where you can basically label frame ranges on the timeline. Okay. So, oh, this seems weird. Is this a different launcher? Yeah, okay. So this was stuff that I was working on as part of a Ludum Dare game jam. I don't remember which one's which, but so So we've got a little sparkle here and here. And so so yeah, that's all part of the bar frame tag. And so that frame tag would kind of, it would have the name, and then it would have the start frame and the end frame and the direction. Stop. And you can see that this is all stuff that's set up in the application here. So okay. So we got the data side. We've got so this is an error because, oh, why is this a problem? Delta's already been defined in the module. Okay, so I must have had two definitions for delta. Wait. Yeah, which is sloppy. So that's good. We're bringing some of this stuff to the surface. So these are module level comments, the / bang. And so before, these belonged to a module called Sprites, which was a part of Omen Labs, but that's no longer true. So that's why this reference here is flagging this line as red. So maybe I can do the name of the crate. Does that work? This crate contains types and functions for managing playback of frame sequences. Expected outer dock comment. Okay, so it was because it was because it was below the pub, I think, and the extern crate stuff. Okay. So Rust is picky about stuff, which most of it is pretty good. So they want my module level comments to be up at the top of the module so that people can see it as soon as they open up the module, I presume. So this stuff, I think, since these are, I'm not sure what this is. This is stuff that I copy and pasted from the Clippy README. But normally when you see the square brackets like this is a macro invocation. And I think that maybe this pound bang is like compiler plugin related, and that's why you need nightly in order to do it. Maybe that's wrong. I don't know. I'll look it up, but not right now. So something I'm going to try and do as I organize here is to kind of group stuff a little bit. So I've got my externs followed by my uses, I want local modules to be below that. Is that how I want to do it? No, I want to do modules above uses. This is classic OIN decision making right now. Okay. I'm going to do a double line between this is effectively all the imports and includes and that kind of stuff. I'll do a double blank line here. And then we'll get into all the rest of it. So I don't see any red in the gutter. What is this on the side here? That's a fix me. Dupe code. All right, this stuff. Yes, this particular section of code was particularly annoying to me because it's highly repetitive. Iter cycle yields a different type than iter does. And so I have these two virtually identical code blocks here. But we'll address that stuff moving forward, I guess. I don't really know how I want to do spacing here. Yeah, see, I've got type aliases and stuff trying to hide the fact that all of my implementation details right now are being driven by ASPrite. I wonder if this is an actual word. I wonder if I can ask Google to pronounce it for me. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to turn on my speakers here because this is fun. Oh, I guess ASPrite. I want to hear it though. So I can barely. That was a dumb idea. Okay. Oh, that's why.
Muchas veces a lo largo de la historia me han preguntado muy amablemente cosas como: oye David, ¿cómo maldita sea pronunció tu maldito programa? Se pronuncia ASPrite, pero igualmente le pueden decir ASPrite, como quieran, pero ASPrite es, o algo así, su pronunciación oficial, se podría decir, pero no soy un nazi, diría, de la pronunciación del programa. ASPrite está bastante bien. Bien.
So there you go. ASPrite. And that's fine. But I'm trying to hide the fact that everything that I've done is in support of this one program. And I'm going to probably have to work harder to hide that stuff as I bring it closer to the surface of the crate. So, yeah. So, okay. I mean, I think that's the bulk of the move right there. I will I'll run cargo test and see what happens. if the tests all pass, then I mean, maybe I just take it easy and get to the publishing. Okay, so I've got some failures, and that's probably good. Right. Test read from file. Test clips are distinct. So I bet these are both failing because I don't have a sample file to parse. Some of the tests that I have, I have, you know, a blob of JSON right here in the source file. But other ones needed to basically read from a JSON file on disk. So, spreadsheet data from file. Okay. So I need a resources directory, numbers, etc. And I think these same resources are what I was using in the example program. So we'll want to have those anyway. Aha. So here we go. So unresolved imports, essentially. So what I want is the line number 124. Ah, okay, great. So this is this is all from my documentation. So what I want to do is to update it to reflect the new name of the crate. And let's see if that is actually correct. So normally, I think you explicitly have you have a lib. How does it work? You do like lib and then name equals Omen Sprites, path equals, and I bet that if I ran build with Clippy, Clippy would tell me to do this. So, because you can actually have, you can have Rust projects that basically yield multiple libraries and or multiple binaries, and so these explicit mappings tell Cargo what is what without having to guess. Oh, look at that. We're in there. I've got some slack going on here. Hold on. We're just going to go do not disturb briefly. Okay, so that all worked miraculously, but in order to verify everything, I would really like to be able to run the examples. So if I go back to the old project, so Cargo has a way to run a particular binary that you're coding, but there's also this section of separate example files or example projects. And the example system is nice because it kind of gives you a different point of view. It gives you like the downstream library consumer point of view. So all of your imports need to be written as if you're in a completely separate source tree. And it's a good way to verify like your scope modifiers, like when things are public or private, because if you're operating like within your own module space, you have access to pretty much everything that you might want. But when you're coming at it from an external code base, sometimes the scope modifiers need to be changed in order to get people access to what they need. So so I think you can do cargo run examples, example singular, and then it's the name of whatever the file is. So sprite sheets is the relevant one here. Sprite sheet. Okay, so this is built using GG Easy, or Good Game Easily. And I think we looked at the JSON data, and this is, I can't, let me see if I can get this opened in such a way that you can actually see it. Copy path. Well, I thought there was like a reveal and explorer kind of thing. Oh, show and explorer. There it is. Okay. So if I drop that in my browser, okay. So in Asprite, what I did was I basically wrote each number per frame, and then asked it to spit out a sprite sheet which kind of tiles all the frames together. And we can see that the ordering is interesting because it's by column. So it's going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It goes top down, all the way across. But that's not set in stone. So the person making the sprite sheet can ask it to order this stuff however they want. And so that's why the JSON data is important. Because it relates the pixel offsets, the pixel dimensions for each frame, where they sit within the sheet. So that's frame 0, that's frame 1, etc. as we go down the list. Yeah, so this is just cycling through all the frames on a loop. I guess the first 10 or so, at least. I wonder why I did the first 10. Oh, it's probably because I'm testing the clip, right? So I'm looping over the alpha clip. So if I close that out, I guess a remaining challenge for our new crate is that I need to be able to run this, and that means that I need all of the dependencies that it requires. So we'll see. Okay, so this is why I needed time. And yeah, as you can see here, basically this is written completely from this entirely separate point of view, where even though I'm in the source tree for the Omen Sprites crate, I need to import it like it's an external. And so I also need time. And do I really need specs? That's interesting. I don't think I need specs. So I'm going to pull that out. And yeah, the asset loader. What I may do is, instead of so the thing about the asset loader is that I don't like it. It's not written very well, and it barely does the job that it's in charge of. So I don't want to promote it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy it and paste it into the example. The example is pretty short, so maybe I can cheapen it up so it doesn't take up a whole lot of lines of code and get distracting and that kind of thing. Yeah, see. Although, maybe I can skip it entirely. That'd be smart. We don't depend on the asset loader for the JSON read. It's just basically this. And so I can load the image manually and negate the need for it, maybe. Okay. So there's a little refactor there. But, yeah, so I guess the first thing I want to do is I want to get this sucker. I want to get rand. I think time. Well, I guess I'll leave it where it is for now. I don't want to break everything all at once. I want to ensure that the new crate is functional and happy. So I'm going to add the root for the GGEZ dependency to be dev dependencies. I'm not sure that that's how this works, but I'll try it. Okay. So this should break badly. but we'll see how. Just waiting for Cargo to pull down all of our dependencies. Oh, you know what? Yeah, so GGEZ depends on SDL2, which is a C library. And in order to get that thing to build correctly on Windows, you usually need to have this SDL2 DLL pre-built and in your path. On Windows means in the local directory. Okay, so yeah, asset bundle. So the first thing, I wonder if cargo check works on examples like this. Seems like it does. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this dependency on the asset bundle stuff. And in order to do that, oh, this I also want. Pardon me. So what this is doing is this is saying the default features for my library is an empty list, and that means that this optional dependency, which is enabled via a feature flag, is not turned on by default. I think the default feature list is any feature that you've defined, so it does them all. Glad I caught that. Okay, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, I was going to check out the asset bundle. And so what I plan to do here is to essentially just do this load image directly. So image is coming from GGEZ. I also need the context. Right. And I also probably want to rename this example. Okay, so I already have context for graphics. I can rewrite these. I think that should be equivalent. I'll just add them all in the same line here. We don't want assets or asset bundle. We don't want to use Omen Labs. It would be nice to keep this stuff alphabetical, kind of. So this is third-party stuff. This is quasi first-party, I guess. And then again, I've got standard library stuff, just trying to group it a little bit. Standard library followed by framework code, followed by quote-unquote local types and imports. Right. So the way that this asset loader thing works is it takes a vec of file paths and image sources, right? So when you create a new bundle, it takes essentially a list of file paths, and then it'll loop over them. I could probably do this in parallel, maybe, but because all of these things are being attached to a hash map that's internal to the asset bundle, that would probably end up locking a whole lot. Again, this is pretty problematic, and I was never really happy with it, so never mind. So really all that's happening is it's taking each of those file paths, loading the image for it, and then stashing it inside this cache, which is just a hash map. And we're using the file path as the key, so that when you ask for it later, you're getting the same raw image bytes. So this is the part that really matters. And so in the example code, let's see, we've got this asset bundle here. I think what I want to do is I want to just load the image directly. Sort of like that. And I guess we'll see if that works. The editor doesn't seem angry about that. So we'll ask the compiler, right? So let's cargo check. Okay. So the atlas here, that's asking, okay. What line was that? 64? So oh, that was it. Just those two usages. Oh, draw. Okay, atlas. Expected reference. Okay, yeah. Easy enough. Great. But will it run? I don't know. Nope. Physical FS root. So the system cannot find the path specified. So it's giving me some directories that it searched in order to find the images. So let's see. It's kind of hard to parse out, but, or actually, resource not found. So what I kind of want to do here is to, I guess, just add some line breaks in there so I can actually read it. So, resources. So this may just be that I need to move the file out. And actually, maybe I can just drop the subdirectory entirely. Let's look again at the... so this one is working, I think. This one is not. And I mean, that makes sense because... yeah, so... I'm just going to shorten the path. I'm going to move these out. I must have copied the file at some point. Maybe it's in two places in Omen Labs, which is kind of silly. But the GGEasy image loading stuff is all relative to those search directories. And so part of this machinery is in order to make it so that the resources can be located differently when you're doing cargo run versus building a binary to run directly, that sort of thing. So with that change, I need to go back and I need to look at the tests. The tests that are doing from file. And so those two paths need to be updated, 320, 333. So that's not so bad. Great. We just refactored the example, so that's good. So the last thing that I wanted to do with that was to rename the example. So Spritesheet was the name of the example in Omen Labs because it was the only example program I had dealing with the sprite system, and I had a bunch of examples, or I think I had at least one other example that was something else, I think entity component system related. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to name this clip loop. That's the clip loop example. So, I'm also feeling like I want to I was thinking that I was going to rename it to include GG Easy in the title, but I think if you're reading the example, it's apparent what is happening here, and examples are meant to be read. So yeah, that could be a typo. Okay, so I guess for now I'm done with Omen Labs. I can shut this all out. Get out of here. You're defunct. Although I will have to rewrite all the sprite stuff in Omen Labs to pull in this new crate once it's out there. But I'll do that later, I think. I have some tidy up that I can do while I'm in there. So, all right. So I'm just going to add some stuff. This is all the changes. So let's see. Initial refactor and extraction of sprite code from, and I'm going to cite the let me see. I think GitHub is pretty good about things like markdown in the commit comments, right? So I can do like square brackets, Omen Labs, RS. Oops. github.com/onelson. I'm such a terrible typist. So does that do it? So what else? You know, the version on Omen Sprites feels a little large. I don't know. This is extremely don't count on it code. There's some other things that I need before I want to look at publishing the crate. And I think one of those is that I want a README in here. Let's see. What's the advantage of RefCell versus reference? Right. So the big advantage for RefCell that I was kind of relying on, I guess we'll look back at some of the places where I'm using that. So RefCell allows you to control mutability internally to the, excuse me, I'm jumbling things up here. So if you have properties on a struct that you need to be able to flag as mutable so that you can do things to them, normally the conventional way to kind of handle that is to say, okay, you've got a method on a struct that receives a mutable reference to self. Where do I have that? So we've got a non-mutable here. So here we go. This is kind of the conventional setup where in this update function, I've got a mutable reference to self so that I can make some kind of an assignment back to self. I'm looking for where that is, but oh, self drained here. So in order to change some property on self, I need a mut_self reference. Because this is a reference to self and it's mutable, it means that when I call update on this object, I can't then also do some other mutable borrow on the object within the same code block. So that's a big problem. Like if I wanted to call some method that changes some value that's internal within a function, and then call some other method that updates some other internal value, the borrow checker would flip out and tell me that I can't do it. I believe the compiler error would be cannot move out of borrowed content or something like that. Borrowed context. I can't remember what the phrasing is, but cannot move out of borrowed something. So if you have a RefCell around whatever that field is on the struct, you can do a borrow mut on the field itself, and that stops the requirement for flagging the entire struct as mutable. Does that kind of make sense? I know that's it's a little tricky, and so a lot of these memory management concerns are kind of foreign to other languages that are not Rust. And because Rust is the only one that's really dealing with this stuff, it means you don't have a really great frame of reference coming from other languages. So Omen sprites. What else do I want here? I'm going to start with an apology, I guess. So let's see. This crate is an exercise in learning. Please don't depend on this for your job. The overall let's see, the overall goal is to make management of sprite sheet data convenient by using, I don't know how to explain this, by using a video playback metaphor, right? So so let's see, I'm going to do the same thing. Omen Labs RS. Actually, I'm going to drop this down here. Does that work? I forget how to mark up. Yeah, that seems to go right. Okay. So I don't want to go too much more into this because I could probably write a lot about what this project is and what it's for. I also want to have some example code in here, probably ripped from the doc strings in the module itself. But I think what I am going to do is to publish it as is and then follow it up with some point releases after the fact with improved documentation. Actually, do I want to bring something in here? Well, I guess is built around export data from, and I had a little spiel about Sprite over here. Which I guess yeah. Yeah, so I will expand on all of this a little bit later. Although, I think the last thing that I wanted to maybe pull out here was Travis. I didn't think about whether or not I was going to set this up, but I may give it a try. So I have Travis set up for Omen Labs. So if I edit this for Omen Sprites, oops. Build unknown. Correct. Okay. So let's take a look at Travis real quick. Where do I want to get that from? Let's see. No, no, no. I don't want to do that. I want to CP Omen Labs rs dot Travis dot YAML to here. Let's take a look at what's in there. Right, so there's some stuff here about SDL2, which I may or may not need. I'm going to leave it in for now, because right now the example program is the only thing that uses GGEZ. So anyway, okay, so this is all going to stay as is for right now. I disabled nightly, but I can try and bring it back. I'm leaving OSX out of it for now because I don't know how to get SDL2 installed, but I'll mess with this a little bit later. And I'm gonna pull up Travis on my other screen here, because I can't remember what the setup steps are like, and if they're gonna leak personal info somehow. So I guess I probably had to set up an integration from the GitHub project side. And so this is what it looked like for Omen Labs. So it looks like it's already set up somehow. I don't know why. But that's fine, I guess. So let's see. Maybe it'll just build when I push this change with the README and the Travis.yaml. So I'll leave that there. Yeah, that's fine. That's the line endings. I'll need to look at that. So is this is this queued somehow? Okay, there we go. I don't know what's going to happen with Nightly. So we got all that going, and that's great. The next thing that I want to do is to run Rust format on there, I guess. And we see that it has reordered some of my imports, which is great. Oops. I'm in Windows, so it needs to be double quotes. And I need to add, okay, there we go. And so here's Clippy. I normally do this with cargo build, but maybe it works just as well with cargo check. Oops, yeah. Clippy also requires Nightly, so... Yikes. Okay, so when Clippy barfs like this, usually what I try to do is cargo update plus Nightly Clippy. No. I don't remember. Basically what I want to do is I want to get a new version of Clippy The stuff gets out of sync sometimes. And garbage. But that's fine. I'll chase this down later. Running things like Clippy and Rust format are things that you do over and over and over again during the life cycle of a project. So if I can't get it to work right now, I'll catch up with the linter feedback later on. And I'm really hoping that whatever the features are that these crates are relying on that's in Nightly right now, I'm really hoping that those things get stabilized and come through to the stable channel ASAP, because I hate having to switch between stable and Nightly in order to improve the developer feedback options that I have available. That's super annoying. Right. Okay, so we'll leave that where it is. And I think I'll move on to the actual crates part. And so I haven't looked at this at all. This is blind, I guess. So I'm logged in with GitHub, and now what? Publishing your crate. Okay. So, let's see what this is all about. Oh, great. Okay, so I've got a green check on both the stable and beta builds. Nightly is probably just going to take forever. And so we can see now on the README here, we've got a little build passing icon, which if you click on it should take us to Travis. So that's great. We got that going for us. And I should also verify that these links are good. So Omen Labs and Ace Sprite. Great. Okay. So, once you've got a library you'd like to share with the world, it's time to publish it on Crates.io. I agree. And you know, for me, I had a lot of reservations about publishing a crate, just because I felt like my library didn't have a whole lot of value to it, and maybe it was only going to be... I'm sorry, I've got like light shining all over my face. That's kind of annoying. And so I just wasn't sure what the use was for publishing something so small and potentially with such a niche market interest. So yeah, I had a lot of reservations about whether or not I was going to do this, but I kind of wanted to go through the process at least once, just to see what it was like. So they're telling me that that I need to do some stuff in secret, like logging in. So I'm going to move that over to my other screen. And we're going to try this out. So I've got a screen up here where it's got my email and my GitHub details, and it says, okay, API access. If you want to use package commands from the command line, you'll need a cargo credentials file, which is what they're saying here. And so, new token name. So I guess I would have a token per machine. All right. And so that token exists now, and like it's saying here, I'm seeing some discrepancies in what it's telling me here with what it's telling me on the actual page for generating tokens. But oops. Okay, so this is the thing that threw me here. For me, this file doesn't exist, but this one does. So maybe it was switched, maybe my version of the toolchain is just old enough that it's prior to that. Maybe 120 landed already and I'm still on 119. Actually, I bet that's true. I bet 120 is a thing now. So what I'm going to do now is let's see, package up your crate, cargo package. Okay, so target package. There's the package, right? We've got what is in here? So that's everything that everything that got moved in there. Huh, interesting. Cargo will automatically ignore files ignored by your version control system when packaging. But if you want to specify an extra set of files to ignore, yeah, so that's actually what I want to do. So what I'm not sure about is the resources for the examples. Because it seems like you would run the examples as a part of having a local clone of the library. So I think this is what I want to do, to be honest. I don't know. I guess I'm gonna leave it to start with. Yeah, because where would all that data go? Where would it go? I'm going to go with the whitelist. And that should strip out all the resources and the examples and the benches. I mean, I think that makes sense. I should look at somebody else's crate before I commit to this. So so if we look at GG Easy, let's see what they're doing. Nothing. Well, okay, maybe I just won't worry about it. What I will do is I will, well, do I care about the Travis YAML? Probably not. I don't care. There's no sensitive info in there by design, so if these things hitch a ride as a part of the crate, I guess so be it. I guess so be it. Right, so it's saying the size of the tests or benches directories, if they're a couple of megs, you can keep them. If they're 10 megs or 2 gigs, yeah, I get that. So what is the size? Is that 10.5K? Is that what I'm seeing? Do we have DU here? No. Yeah, because I think this is bytes. So I think that's 10K. So nobody's going to be mad if there's some extra stuff in there. All right, so I've got a crate ready to go. Cargo publish. Metadata. So documentation description. Yeah, some of this would be good. Some of this would be good to have. So this is all in the package section. So let's type some of this up. A small for small library for sprite sheet animation. I don't have a link for documentation just yet, or a homepage. This is I guess that's correct. Again, I will, let's see. Let's see what our friends at GG Easy are doing. So keywords is interesting. So repository, yeah, that matches. They've got a website, which is cool. So keywords. Sprite, a sprite, 2D, also game, I guess graphics fits. License. I don't have a license file. So the README, is that correct? Points to the file in the repository relative to the cargo.toml. Yeah, okay. Categories. So I don't know much about the categories. Popular categories, okay. Rendering. Game engines. Okay, so crates for creating games. Applications for fun and entertainment. So this is full games, and this is things used to make games, I think. Libraries to help create. I don't know. Let's take a look at these. Games and game engines. There's a lot of overlap here, I see. Maybe I can do both. Categories is a list, so I'll try both. cross-posting. Badges. Okay, so Travis CI user project. I think that's correct. I don't have AppVeyor set up yet. AppVeyor is kind of what people are using for Travis type stuff on Windows. I don't know what Circle is either. I guess these are new new competitors. Coveralls, Code Cov. I don't have any of that yet. So, oh right, no wait, I wanted license. I need advice when it comes to the legal stuff, so I mean, I feel like MIT is probably what I'll end up with. What is FE? Permission is hereby granted free of charge to any person obtaining a copy of this software, associated documentation files, aka the software, to deal in the software without restriction, including, without limitation, the right to use, copy, modify, merge, publish, distribute, sublicense, and or sell copies of the software. The permit the persons to whom the software is furnished to do so, subject to the following conditions. The above copyright notice and permissions notice shall be included with all copies. Okay. As is, without warranty. Yes. That makes sense. Okay. That all sounds good. That all sounds good. Is that how this works? Is it a markdown file? Not a text file? And the year of our Lord 2017. Okay. I guess so. So we got a license file. I am... I'm still thinking about that file extension that doesn't feel right. So Just going to take the extension away. So now, back to the manifest license file. I guess it's like that. They don't say where their license file is, probably because it's unaltered. If the project is using a non-standard license. Yeah. In lieu of the above key. Okay, so I don't need that. All right, well, I guess we're back in there now. So we've done a bunch of metadata. Publishing a new version of an existing crate. I may need to do this pretty soon, but okay, so Semvar. Need to think about breaking changes. Cargo yank. Oh, cargo owner. That's interesting. So you can have multiple people managing a crate of yours, I guess. All right, well, I guess since I updated the manifest, oh yeah. The last thing that I would probably do is tag. So because this is what I'm saying is legit the version, right? So so repackaging. And then cargo publish. Uh-oh. An unknown error occurred. What is, I don't know what to say about that. So that's a little unhappy. Damn, guys. What is the deal with that? So build works. Build and check and package all do their thing. I don't know. So that thing with the 21 and stable is what version? I don't know. Probably 20. So the thing about the credential file kind of had me wondering. I don't know what that unknown error is meant to represent, but I guess what I would do normally is I would Rust cargo publish unknown error. I definitely feel like this is related to authorization, and the unknown error part is maybe just a gap with how they were storing the authorization tokens. So, oh, stable is the same. I got a nightly bump, but that was it. Yikes. Okay, that's a lot of output. Oh. API errors. Wildcard dependency constraints are not allowed on Crates.io. So I wonder why it couldn't just tell me that. It did tell me to rerun again with verbose for more info, so I guess maybe. So I've got these two wildcards here on the dev dependencies, but what I can do is I can check out time, and I can see that current version is 0138. And I can check rand, and I can see that the current version is 0316. And so really I can shorten it down to the first two digits, and that last digit should be silent upgrade. I don't know what the right way to describe this is, but basically when I ask for 03 for rand, whatever 03 dot whatever that last segment is, the patch version, it'll just give me the latest one of that series. And so the breaking changes are normally isolated to these second digits here. So that's why you only want things that are .3. You don't want .4. You don't want .2. So maybe that's all. Maybe that's all I need. Oh shit, yeah. So no wildcards. Allowed for deps when publishing to Crates.io. So there's that. And now I've got to update my tag. Does all push tags in addition to I don't know. I guess not. Okay, so it seems odd to me. Like, I wonder why cargo package works, but publish doesn't. And I suppose it is because potentially you could have your own cargo registry that maybe had a different policy on wildcards, something like that. Well, let's see. Maybe that'll do it. Uh-oh. API errors, wildcard dependency constraints, not allowed in crates IO. So that's the same message we got before. Oh, Clippy. Clippy's a wildcard. I didn't notice it there because it was formatted differently. So we gotta go through all this again. And I wonder. So GG Easy, again, I'm writing on them as an example because I've kind of worked with them a little bit, and I trust this guy, so I don't see the dependency listed here at all. Maybe there's a way. Let me double check. We'll go to the Clippy repo usage. See, I was following this example here. It is recommended to not include Clippy as a hard dependency. Options include, so I'm actually gonna roll back on Clippy. And then I'm gonna it said something about there being a cargo command. Options include using it as an optional dependency as a cargo subcommand. Yeah. And that would actually be the best thing for me. That's how I work with Rust format. Because there are two Rust format crates. There's Rust format, and then there's Rust format nightly, which has the current blessed style rules based on the Rust internals best practices. So and I would much prefer to keep this kind of thing out of my requirements. especially since it's basically running on an entirely separate tool chain to the rest of the code. So but I think once we resolve that wildcard, hopefully that's the last piece. I would like to see this work. Look at all those builds. I didn't think I would have so many builds going on. Okay, so what happens when I run this? Oh yeah, that's a good tip. I don't know what I was just trying to do there. Maybe it was trying to look at the example. Still. $254. So I can change this one, but I can't change that one because I need that cycle in there. You know what? That is a good thing to keep in mind, but I don't think it really makes any functional difference. And right now, I think having the affinity between iter cycle and iter here is important for me, because it goes back to the dupe code problem. So So I'm going to build all this stuff again, make sure that it's all good. I'm going to run the tests, make sure that's still good. But yeah, I think that's it's an important thing to keep in mind when you're embracing you know, tooling around linting and style checking and that kind of thing. A lot of the feedback you get is going to be good, but the approach for resolving the feedback might not always be the correct thing. Like, I could have just switched that line to satisfy Clippy, but I've got a bigger refactor that I want to get into that involves that line, and so I think it makes sense to hold off on that until I can fix it for real. So okay, so cargo test looks good. And so this is just removing Clippy. And I am shit. That is not what I wanted to do. How do you remove a tag? Like that? Oh. What the shit? Okay. I guess that... -D for delete. Okay, like a branch. That's fine. So, what I want to do is I want to, once again, move that initial tag up another rev. And everything is pushed at this point, I think. So, this could be it. Okay. So there I am. Ta-da! Yeah, so so we should have one tag, just the one. And if I look at the branches here, what else? there should be yeah, okay. That's the whole thing. So yeah, I guess we're done. We've got a crate. And so for next steps, I will be looking to improve the documentation, put some more examples in there, do all of that good stuff so people know how to use it. And yeah, that was a learning experience. So I hope you learned something. I know I did. Mainly, there will be no wildcard dependencies on stuff published to the registry. That was a big learning opportunity for me. Yeah, I guess the other next step for me is to go ahead and update the labs repo so that it's depending on sprites from this repo or from this crate. So that'll clean up the code base there, and I can focus on the other ongoing development, which is all in state management. So yeah, good times. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I'm going to sign off. I'm going to go do something else for a little while.